Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, a man who has sparked political intrigue and conflicts heard in every corner of the globe, with multiple assassination attempts against him, one of the most recent in Pennsylvania. But before his political career, he was a real estate tycoon and reality TV star, dominating American primetime television with one of the most iconic phrases of all time.
You're fired. You're fired.
Today, we'll see how this unexpected twist in his life story and the way he dealt with malice, public criticism, and his rivals made him one of the most badass people in history. Trump was born in 1946 in Queens, New York, into a well-off family. His father was Fred Trump, and his mother was Mary Ann McLeod. Trump grew up in a 23-room house with the family chauffeur who drove him to school every day. However, Trump didn't come by all this by chance. His father was a very hard-working man. Starting out as a simple construction helper, he used his business acumen to build Trump and Son, a major real estate company of the time in New York. From a young age, Trump stood out for his confidence and energy. At just 13 years old, due to problematic behavior, his parents sent him to the New York Military Academy as a form of discipline, a decision that proved effective. He attended Fordham University for 2 years before transferring to Wharton University, one of the few institutions at the time offering studies in real estate. He graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics and joined his father's business. The early years weren't the best for the company, but building houses in Queens wasn't enough for Trump. His sights were set on Manhattan, the heart of New York City. After 3 years of apprenticeship, Donald became president of the company, taking the reins from his father in a generational handover. In the 1980s, Trump wanted to prove that the reason he had risen so high wasn't just because of the wealth his father had given him, and he did exactly that. He made bold moves and built large, pioneering structures like Trump Tower, Trump Plaza, and many others, through which he demonstrated his power and what he could contribute to the future of New York City. In the 1990s, however, many things changed. Several of his casinos and businesses went bankrupt, but that didn't mean it was the end for him. Then came his television career. In 2004, Trump became the star of The Apprentice, a reality show that portrayed him as the ultimate businessman. It was a massive success. Over the 14 seasons he hosted, he earned $500 million. The phrase, "you're fired," entered pop culture, and Trump became a symbol of decisive leadership. This television exposure wasn't just entertainment. It shaped the way millions of Americans saw him, not as a tycoon who faced bankruptcies, but as a winner. And that image would later prove to be incredibly powerful. The defining moment had arrived. June 16, 2015, Trump descended a golden escalator at Trump Tower and announced that he was running for president.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
That moment changed everything. The political world laughed, but the public didn't. He spoke in blunt terms, attacked the political elite, and rallied those who felt ignored by the system. Through debates, scandals, and relentless media coverage, Trump defied expectations, winning the Republican nomination and then stunning the world by winning the presidency. Whether it was strategy or a show of force, Trump's improbable rise marked a new era in American politics, an era driven by personality, media dominance, and a rejection of the establishment. After winning the 2016 election and taking office as the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump pursued a political agenda that was bold, unconventional, and often controversial. His first major objective was tax reform. In 2017, he signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which lowered corporate tax rates and introduced significant changes to taxation for both businesses and individuals.
From 35% down to 15%, we're going to be one of the lower taxed. Not the lowest, but close.
Supporters saw it as a boost to the economy, while critics argued it disproportionately benefited the wealthy people. At the same time, Trump adopted a tougher stance on immigration, implementing the notorious zero-tolerance policy, which included the controversial separation of families at the border. He also signed a travel ban that restricted entry to citizens from several Muslim-majority countries, a move that sparked intense legal battles and global criticism. The reaction from the international community and the media was intense, but Trump's supporters stood by him, viewing his actions as necessary for the country's security. Trump's term came to an end with the 2020 election, in which he lost the presidency to Joe Biden, but he did not retreat from the public stage. Donald Trump won the 2024 election and reassumed the presidency of the United States on January 20, 2025, becoming the 47th president of the United States. Incidentally, during a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania, on July 13, 2024, an assassination attempt was made on Trump, in which he was shot in the right ear. The assassination attempt had a profound impact on both public opinion and the course of the election. The image of Trump, bloodied but defiant as he was escorted off stage, quickly went viral and was seen by millions around the world. After returning to the White House, Trump undertook one of the most defining commercial movements in U.S. history. He reinstated and increased tariffs, imposing shock-level duties on imports from China, as well as from allies like Canada and the European Union. The new tariffs reached as high as 145% on certain Chinese products, sparking global backlash. This policy, now known as Trump Tariffs 2.0, aimed to reshore manufacturing and reclaim jobs. However, it also had consequences: higher prices for consumers, increased trade tensions, and pushback from trade partners. Donald Trump's story isn't just about business, television, or politics. It's about branding. He's not just a politician, he's a businessman. He turned his name into a product, his failures into comebacks, and his media presence into political power. And whether you agree with his politics or not, his journey reveals a key truth. In the modern era, visibility and narrative can be just as powerful as policy. What do you think about Trump? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.